Or to the cloud. All right. I've got recording to the cloud going on, and yeah, 1 minute, and you just give the go ahead when you when everybody in. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good crowd now. Definitely. All right. Do you want to begin with showing your face and then jump into your share screen, Reed? You can go ahead and minimize the share screen for a minute. Yeah, and then sweet. So spotlight for everyone. Okay, and you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's let them in.
Okay.
All right, here they come. Whoa, I just saw your background changed. That was neat. That's cool. Like, wait a minute, did we have a glitch? No, that was cool.
No, it's gonna do that throughout the video.
Awesome. I love it. All right. Welcome everybody. Yeah. We
Hey,
have Reed
everybody.
hanging out. That's cool. Yeah, we'll wait just a second, and then I'll run through the normal Angie notes because I'm playing substitute there. And let's see. I'll put it side by side and then I'll duck out in just a moment here.
Sounds good.
All right. So it looks like everybody's coming in. I don't know if they've had any virtual, like high level previews of what's going on. Definitely loving the viral feed that Perry and Emma and Angie have been sharing from what a spectacular event. And, our other Ignite Mastermind members are showing us some love. Coach Kara throwing some good photos up there from it in the VIP section, and definitely getting some good looks from everybody. I think even Angie had like was it Sean Clark in one of the photos and stuff. So got 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 some good love there, and yeah, Barry's just hanging out on the couch, just doing his best. I think he hangs out there. All right, yeah. So I wanted to just go over a quick little Angie's list here. That is a real thing. That yeah, as a substitute, I need to make sure that you are aware of what's coming up. And I believe tomorrow is kind of a light week. We have Thursdays normally. Nuno has his advanced trainings, but I'll be substituting in for him, and then we're going to kind of go over any questions that you have, as well as follow up on some of the things that was brought to our attention today. And also, there's a lot of features that High Level has introduced. I think it's like 140 something, but yeah, I've played with about four. If you are in Springboard, look up at the top navigation. You'll see something that says new, and it'll be listed there. Yeah, I don't think we'll start with any questions or anything. I don't think that we need to give you too much of introduction, but I mean, it's amazing that I hear about you from so many times before I went to events. Reed does this, and then seeing you in person, how you're willing to share so much of your knowledge, just in a quick in-person meetup. That I've been expecting this. I think a lot of other members have as well, as like getting you to share some of your knowledge for us on like our weekly call. So I appreciate you being here, and it's so cool to have you. So everybody, give a virtual big hand for Reed. I'm gonna duck out of here and let you have the floor, sir.
Great. Thank you, Russell. How you guys doing? I'm gonna share my screen here, and hopefully this will go through. So you guys should see like a Google Doc. Let me just pop up the chat so I can see that those are coming through. Just let me know in the chat that you can see my slides. Cool. I'm going to make this easy for you guys to access this. So I'm learning from the master. You can scan those or go to this link, meteorlinks.com/mindpal, and you can get access to this document as well. And I'll put that in the chat too, so you guys can quickly get access to that. Looks like we have quite a few people in the waiting room as well. So basically, today you're going to learn how I was able to save up to 3,683 hours in a week using a tool called MindPal. So we're going to go through this quick and you'll learn a little bit about MindPal today. So what is MindPal? MindPal is really this platform that allows you to build these AI agents and multi-agent workflows. And you can use that to kind of automate all sorts of different tasks online and also use custom data of your own. So it allows you to create your own AI workforce. Let me go to the website here just so you guys can follow along. Now they've got a lot of templates, and we'll look at some of these later, so you can kind of see how MindPal works. You can create your own workflows and get a feel for it. But really, their unique selling position is you can get more done like 25 times faster using MindPal. So you can build these specialized AI agents. They can work on thousands of different tasks for you. You can also upload your own content, so PDFs, Word files, PowerPoints, spreadsheets, audio files, video files, YouTube, even websites you can put in there, and you can feed the knowledge base for it. You can also connect it to a bunch of different tools from Google Drive to Notion to Dropbox to Google to DuckDuckGo, all sorts of different things, even Wikipedia. And you can even switch between different large language models. So things like OpenAI and Claude and a bunch of other tools that you can use to create your workflows even better. Now, these agents that you create, they can work together and they can build different things for you. They can even work in the background. You can even publish these workflows and share them with different people. So it can even be like creating a software tool that not only can you use internally, but you also can share it to customers. You could embed it into like your website. You can even make it a paid tool to have people have access to what you've created. Now it's recommended by a bunch of different people. They even featured me as one of their people here. So I'll click through that so you can see that. So they did a write-up on the usage that I'm having with MindPal. And I'll go back to my document here. Now, I think a lot of you saw my lead laundering bribes generator. How many of you guys have actually used that? You want to say something in the chat if you're actually have used this tool? So yeah, I'm seeing some stuff here. And what we're gonna do, just so in case anyone isn't familiar with this tool, why don't you just someone throw out their niche, just so I can show an example of how this works. And first one I noticed, I'm just gonna pop in here. Oh boy, these are going fast. What was the first one here? Art journaling. That's different. Let's art journaling. I spelled that right. So I'll hit submit here. And this will just give you a feel for this. So if you weren't on Perry's lead laundering workshop, this was like a 3-day workshop for Ignite where he covered a bunch of different ways. I think there was like 38 different ways to create these different lead magnets that you can use to grow your list. So I created this lead laundering bribe generator as just a bonus to help people out that were using it, so you can start seeing results and start building your lists following his methods. So for instance, in this tool that I create with MindPal, it starts off and it starts creating an ebook about the what was it, art journaling, I believe. It fully outlines all that, and now once it completes that, it's going to move on to the next thing. So it's doing like a list of ideas, and I'll keep this tab open and we'll check it out a little later in the call, but you get an idea about what this is. Now, a lot of you guys have been using this between Driven and Ignite. There's hundreds of you who've been using this tool. And MindPal considers me a power user. I've saved up to 3,683 hours in a week with this. A lot of this is because of this tool and how a lot of us are using it. Talked about the success story. There's even people inside of Ignite and Driven who are using this lead laundering bribes generator not only to create stuff for their like website and get leads that way, but they're also using it to create things for clients and selling the things that it's generating as things to their customers. So that's cool to see. Now we had Driven Mastermind last week. We were in Cancun, Mexico for our quarterly meetup. And on day one, Qasim, Perry, and Jason all had presentations that they shared. They ended up doing a fast action contest. And what I decided to do is I would automate one particular thing from each of their presentations and turn that into a tool that Driven members could use. And so after dinner, I rushed to my room and I opened up MindPal and I created an automation based off of something that each of them said in their talks. The next morning, I demonstrated or I talked about that to the group, and the members of German voted me as a winner of the fast action contest for that. So I earned a $1,000 prize from that. So that was a lot of fun. Now, who here is familiar with AI agents? Anyone ever use an AI agent before? Seeing sort of, yeah, yes, nope, yes. Okay, I'll cover it real briefly. So basically, an AI agent, I like to think of it as something that can do one job extremely well. So it's focused on doing one thing. So you might have an AI agent that, well, actually, we could go back to the workflow that I had, the bribes generator. One AI agent, if we don't crash my computer with having this run while we're doing Zoom, one AI agent is, for instance, writing the ebook in this example. Another AI agent is doing the list of ideas. And then another AI agent is doing the strategy guide. So they were all trained to do each one of these things. So if I were to have one thing try to do all this for me, it would really suck at it because they're only good at doing kind of one particular task at a time. So this way, I can fine tune each one of these agents and have it do the work for me. So it's almost like, let's say that you were building a house or something. You might be the general contractor, and you're going to hire someone that's going to, do the foundation. You're going to hire someone that's going to you put up all the framing. You're going to have someone that does all the windows, someone that does all the siding and all the roof and all the electricity and all the plumbing. Those are all different people, different companies that are doing things. So kind of think of that with AI agents. These AI agents are individually skilled in their area of expertise, and you can easily train those agents. Now, I like to think of with AI agents in MindPal, you have a couple different things. You can do what is like a chat where you can converse with your agents inside of MindPal, and that's very similar to using ChatGPT. It's a chat interface. You can call up your individual agents and have them work on whatever task and have a conversation with you. Now, this multi-agent workflow is what I was demonstrating earlier with that leads laundering bribe generator. What it does is it allows you to string together multiple AI agents. So you're kind of daisy chaining them together where they can all work as an assembly line, and that makes them work on your behalf kind of without you. So it's kind of like having this team of virtual employees are doing the work for you while you can do other things. Like, for instance, that bribes generator is doing something else. I don't know which one it's on right now, but I mean, we can scroll down through here. It's doing a lot. It's done a bunch since we started talking. Even some sales copy, a lot of different things. What I can do, I can copy link, and think I think this will share to you guys. With it, but you can see it live on how that's going. And so it's generating all those. But basically, you have this assembly line of these AI workers doing your work for you, and you might want to know like which one do you choose. So I like these multi-agent workflows because I feel that if you're working with an individual agent, it's a lot like just having a chat conversation, which is okay. But if I can have the agents do the work for me and they can do stuff on my behalf, that makes my life a lot easier because I can be focused on other things. Like, for instance, that bribes generator is doing stuff right now. I'm giving a presentation. I'll be creating some other workflows inside of MindPal while we're doing things. I'll be demonstrating other things, and all that's happening in the background while I could be doing something else. I could be sleeping if I wanted, and it can be out there creating these things for me, following the different automations that I built with it. So we'll scroll down a little bit more. in case you aren't familiar with MindPal, it solves a few different things. It can be trained on your own data. You can connect it to your favorite tools, and you can choose the best AI models. And what makes it stand out, these AI agents work together. They work while you sleep, and you can publish these workflows. So you can even embed them on your own site, or you can share them with people. Like I just, shared the bribe generator, and those are great things because, for instance, if you can create a tool in MindPal, and it's really easy to create a tool in MindPal, that is something that really stands out. And it's like, wow, you made this software thing for me, or you made this software tool. It has this really high perceived value, and you don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to know how to do any of coding stuff to make this work. So it's really cool, and I'll show you guys how to do it. So, what do you guys say we build something inside of MindPal? How's that sound? Awesome. Seeing some yeses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log on to MindPal. And you're going to want to click Get Started. So this is the main interface for MindPal. So you can see the main thing is kind of like a chat GPT kind of interface where you can see your workforce, which is cool. You can do agents. So this is where you can build like an individual agent. So I'll just click on one. Why don't we oh, you can't see my screen? You guys able to see my screen at all?
Yeah, we see it. You have a
You
modal
see
up
it?
that says new agent,
Okay,
and
cool. Okay, cool. I just saw a chat that they couldn't see it. Awesome. I'm glad that it's going through for most of you. I don't know for the person who can't see it, you may want to try to log back in. So why don't we do something? Someone just tell me a task that you need done in your business. And we're gonna have MindPal create an automation for us. Just pick one thing. First one that comes through, I'm going to type in and we'll have it. Plan a promotion, check email, cold email. Okay, so I'm going to do plan a promotion and plan a promotion for an online business. Just because promotion could be like, um, a job promotion or something. Generate with AI. So this is creating a whole like detailed prompt to plan a promotion out to like the objectives for this one, and you can change this, but the objectives basically to increase sales by 20%, grow the email list, the target audience, all these different things for you. And so I'm gonna say looks good, save the agent. And so that's a basic agent that I could do with it. Now, if I wanted to improve the direction of where this agent's going. Like, let's say I was already trying it out for some things. I could click enhance this background, and it's going to rewrite the kind of the background and the desired output format and make it even better. So that's one thing to improve it. I see that Andrew raised his hand. Do you guys want me to do questions while we're on, or save them to the end? What do you prefer, Russell?
let's save them to the end because we're only about 20 minutes in, and definitely need to get some of those questions in a little bit later.
Okay, sounds good. We'll save that to the end. So with this, you can add different things. So you can have like internal knowledge bases. So you can upload different content of your own. So for instance, I uploaded the newsletter empire course, the how to start a newsletter, which was what last month, I think, a couple weeks ago that Perry did that. So I uploaded that as an example where I took all the transcripts and the slides and I put that as something that I could use as a knowledge source if I wanted. So that's kind of a useful way to do things. You can, there's a note-taking ability inside of MindPal, so you can even put your own notes. I don't use that section. I don't find it that useful. You can have these different web search things, so it can go out there and it could search Google or Semantic Scholar or DuckDuckGo or Wikipedia or YouTube or Pexels or Arzix, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, or Yahoo Finance. These are things that are built in that MindPal can communicate with. So if you want something to go out there and search these different things and report back with something that's current events kind of thing, this is a great way to get up-to-date information to share into your different workflows. Now you got different outputs. So you can even cite the knowledge sources. So it's almost like creating footnotes for you. You can do LaTeX, which is for math equations and stuff. So if you want like different math symbols, most of us probably don't need that for anything. You can change the output for the language. So if you wanted to have stuff in, I don't know, Italian, it would every output for this particular agent could be in Italian for you. You can change the style. So you can do different styles where, let's just say new style. Now I could paste some content here, like let's say I had blog posts or a sales letter or something. In fact, why don't I do that? Just to give you an idea, I'll do, since we've all been on Ignite Mastermind's sales page before, I'm just going to copy and paste this. So this should give me, or give us basically a style like Perry Belcher. So I'll go back to Agents tab here. I'm going to paste this in and I'll click Analyze. And what this will do is it's going to try to create a style similar to how Perry writes. So for instance, this particular page that I shared with it, it's informal, conversational, motivational. Um, It's got different personality traits in there, some of the tone and some of the language that Perry uses. Talks about the target audience, the brand values, consistency, audience engagement, some of the content, the feedback loops, different things that can improve the quality of the content. So imagine if you did that for different competitors of yours. You could load up their sales pages or their emails, and you could write in their style if you wanted, or do it with your own content. Maybe you've written a lot of content in the past, or even you've done a lot of presentations or podcasts or something like that. You could take the transcripts of those and upload them. Another way to do this is you can take the internal knowledge sources. So like I have the different files for the how to start a newsletter course uploaded in here as an example. And you could take all those and have it create a style based off of like how you talk in your recordings. That could be a very useful thing for you. So that's one way to kind of humanize your content, if you will. You got the model settings here. This is kind of interesting. So you can change what model you're using. So you got the different ones from OpenAI that you can use. I almost always have mine at GPT 4.0 mini is pretty much what I have it set at. But you have stuff from Anthropic. So you've got Claude, you've got Google Gemini, and you've got Llama, which is done by Facebook or Meta. And so you can switch between. A nice thing about this is, so let's say you've got a multi-agent workflow. You could have something that excels with GPT 4.0 mini, and then you could have something else that excels with Claude, and you could have the output for that particular agent be outputted in Claude, and then maybe you have another one that does really well with Gemini. Well, then that third one could use Gemini, and so you can mix and match and go back and forth between these different models where if you were to do that by hand, it would be really hard to go, well, let me open up Claude, let me open up ChatGPT. I mean, a lot of people probably just use Poe because you could go back and forth that way, but how many subscriptions do people want to have for different things? So it starts to add up. So it's really nice to be able to just have this in here and be able to switch between things. Now you can change your output tokens. I usually leave it at the 2000 mark, but you can up it if you need, and then you can change like how creative you want it to be, or like how determined you want it to be. And then you got some advanced settings. Actually, let me cover tools first. So you got different tools here. This is a really cool feature. So you can have it execute Python code. You can generate PowerPoints. You can generate images with Flux, which is a pretty cool model. You can create mind maps. You can create post or flashcards. You can use images from DALL-E. You can create like text-to-speech audio. You can scrape websites. You can screenshot websites. You can search news and blogs, articles. You can do Pexels image and video search. You can do unsplash image search. And then let me scroll up. If you're really nerdy, you can add a custom tool here. And so this is where you're going to be dealing with API endpoints and doing all sorts of fun stuff with that. It's a little advanced for what we're going to be talking about today, but you can do a lot of cool stuff in here to add your own like API information for different tools. I would probably use something like rapidapi.com because you can do a lot of cool stuff with Rapid API and then put that in here for different things, and that's going to give you a very unique edge compared to your competition for different things. And then you could just add that and use that in all your workflows if you wanted. You've got memory here, so you can like add different examples of how you want things to be and really train the workflow. So I'm just going to leave it as is. So we got the promotion planner. Now I could do a thread. So this is like your normal thing. I'm looking to do a Black Friday sale for my I don't know, print shop. We'll go with that. And I'll hit send. And this should give us a plan on how to promote for our Black Friday sale. So that's very similar to ChatGPT. Nothing super exciting there. But where this gets exciting is you can do all those different things that I talked about for customizing stuff. And what we could do is we could do a workflow. So I'm going to do a new workflow. Let's generate a social media promotion campaign for my business. Generate with AI. And what this should do is it should create us a multi-agent workflow for us. And so it's figuring out the different inputs, campaign, the content assets is probably going to be like banner ads or whatever, but we can get rid of that because we don't really need it. So it's going to come up with a content strategy, a content calendar, promotional graphics, can schedule the posts and monitor those. I'm probably not going to have it monitor it just because I'm not going to set up API stuff for that, but we'll look good and save the workflow. So if I hit new run, business online print shop, let's see, families, and it's a day sale, 25% off, custom t-shirts. Okay, and we'll hit start. And what this should do is it should create a campaign here. So it's kind of defining what our strategy is. It's giving us a whole plan. Now it's creating the content calendar. So every day it's telling us, well, this is the image we should be creating and where we're sharing it and how we're doing it. Gave us a little more feedback. This particular one, it gave us more of the graphical concept and the design elements. Now I could change this where it would actually create the images for me in here, so I could have it like create the images with Flux or with DALL-E. But this is kind of nice because it gives us a basic prompt that we could use and put into like Ideogram or into DALL-E or Midjourney or Flux or whatever we want, and we could reuse things over and over again, which is kind of cool. Then here it's like giving us like the time and dates for all those images to help us have success. Now, if I wanted to share this with other people, I would actually I would go back to the actual workflow builder, and then I can hit share, and I can do cool things like I can publish as a form, and I'll hit publish here, form settings. I can change my copy on here. I can change the look and feel. Like if I want to get rid of the MindPal branding, I can do that. I can create my own like slug for it. So we'll just call it social night. Just, I don't want it to be something that someone's already using. If you wanted, you could use custom domains. That's an add-on. Personally, I would just embed this into your own site, and there's a way to do that. Um, and you can also enforce rate limiting if you want. So if you were finding that people are abusing the workflows that you make, you can make it so it's like once per minute they could do it, or once a day, once an hour, that kind of thing. There's different settings you can do, like you can require that people use their own API keys if you wanted. You can make it where people could duplicate it in their own workflow if they had a MindPal. I'm just going to hit save here. And we will hit share again, just because I think it didn't save the custom URL. That's fine. But I'll click open just so you guys see an idea here. And so this is, like the interface that was already made. So, I mean, that was a tool that, I mean, I gave it like really no information, but it created a tool for us within a minute that I could share and use to grow my audience. I could share as a tool that I could charge access to. There's actually some cool stuff here. So you can hit like new step here, and you can even do like a payment node. So if I wanted to like charge people $10, um, I could have it where they should see a thing for $10 before it actually do anything. So I'm going to open. I'm just going to say test, submit. And what it should do is it should ask for a credit card here. So I have to put in my email. So this is a great way to create your own like paid tool if you don't want to create a membership site. But here's a way, it goes right into my Stripe, and I could, charge access for before they'd actually get the results. So that's kind of a nice way to make some money with the tools you generate. If you wanted, like let's say that you're creating a tool in MindPal and you wanted to be able to switch it over to someone else's account, you could export a JSON file and they could import that into their account. So that's something you can copy to another workplace, or you can also publish as a template in their marketplace. So that's kind of a nice way to do things. Let me go back to slides. So actually, before I go back to the slides, let me talk about a few other things on this page for you. So I know some people on the comments on Facebook wanted to know if you could like send information from one tool to another and have it go into MindPal. Well, they have this API and webhooks reference, so you can connect up, Springboard or Make or Zapier or whatever you're using, and you could API into stuff and send information to it. So, for instance, in this particular one, it's got like the name of the workflow, the title, and it would have stuff like these would be the values that you would need to send over, and then these would be like the outputs. And so these outputs you could have get sent back to your software tools. Now this is a little advanced, I think, for the audience. I'm not going to really cover this in detail for you guys here, but just to give you an idea, you can do it. They've got training in their documentation on how to do it. Their support's really great about things, so they're really good about helping you with stuff. If you want to do like a webhook, so like let's say you're doing something here where you were capturing the name and email as one of the input fields. So you could do a new field here where it was like name, email, for instance. I'm going to get rid of this step just because we don't need the payment step. Delete. Okay, so at the end of your workflow, you can have this post-run webhook, and this you could have go to like Make or Zapier or whatever, and it could send that information and save like the name and email and put it into an email autoresponder. So that's a great way to get these leads and get them into your own programs. They've got a very detailed guide on that. So with that, let's scroll down here a little bit. So I've talked a little bit about creating your own tools. I talked about the lead generation. I talked about humanizing AI. I talked about selling your expertise. These links just give you some more information on that. They've got some videos that'll help you out later on. Now, I'll cover some other MindPal like tools and inspiration to help you guys get a feel for it. So they've got this AI ROI calculator. I'm actually going to close some of these tabs just because we have so many open, and I'm going to be opening so many things here. We'll get too far here. And I'll close this one too. So they got this ROI calculator, which is kind of cool. So, let's say you value your time at $10 an hour. Just make it simple. And let's say that you could save 5 hours a week with MindPal. Well, your ROI would be $171 a month by learning how to use this tool and actually using it in your business. Now let's get a little more ambitious here. Let's say you can actually save maybe a whole work week. Well, that's 1571. Let's up your pay to maybe a more realistic number. That's almost $8,000 a month in savings. If you could just replace like a 40-hour week at $50 an hour. So that's pretty cool with what MindPal can do for you. They've got these mini AI tools, which this is nice because these are actually tools that other people or MindPal has generally made that you can use. So like, let's do like the Instagram bio generator. So you've got these things that they've already generated, and you could put your information here if you wanted, or you could click customize this workflow. And this is where you're really going to learn how to use MindPal. They allow you to duplicate the template. So you can duplicate this template into your account, and now you know how they prompted it. So this way you could make your own prompts, you could improve them. So for instance, on this particular one, it's going to ask for some information about the person and their hobbies and interests. It's going to review that information, and it's going to send this information to the thing. Now, if I wanted to quickly improve this tool, I would just click into here, click enhance this background, and now I've already made one that's better than what theirs is. Imagine doing that for each step. Now you've got a tool that you might be able to charge money for. You might be able to do this as a done-for-you service. You might be able to just use it as a free lead gen for you. It's a great way to get a nice ROI from MindPal. Scroll back here. This tool idea generator. So this is kind of fun. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the questions because there's been a ton here. Um, why don't we another person just give me their niche, and we're gonna have it create a tool just to have fun here. So just sound healing. Okay, so I'm gonna do sound healing. Get 3 free tool ideas. So this is gonna use AI to come up with some potential tools that you might be able to make. So it's gonna do that. And I think I scrolled down a little too far. So yeah, let's do the frequency finder. That sounds fun. So we'll build frequency finder, generate with AI. And now I don't know anything about this topic. I don't know what chakras are or anything. I've heard of them, but I don't personally know what it is. So it's kind of interesting. But what it'll do here is it's creating this workflow for me. I can improve it if I want. I can just look good, save this workflow, and then I could do new run if I wanted. just say I'm sad and want to be happy. Just, you know, see what it does. And so I'm going to hit start. Um, so I don't know if that's accurate or not. Um, but this is giving some stuff about chakras. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's giving us some frequencies that we could use, suggesting some different sounds, and some usage guidelines. So I mean, imagine that is something that you offered people as a I mean, even a lead magnet or something that could do it. Now, I see something about getting the actual sounds with. Um, I don't believe that you could easily create like the actual sounds inside of MindPal unless you use like another API. So if you found an API that could create like those different frequencies, um, like nature sounds and stuff like that. I don't believe I could create that inside of MindPal. However, if there was an API that you could send out that information and then get those audio files, that could be put back into MindPal for you, and that would just be an API connection that would go back and forth for you. So that'd be another tool that you'd need to use and connect them into MindPal, and that would be a way to make this like a totally hands-off kind of thing. Now, if I wanted to share that as a thing that people could have and like embed it on my website, I'm just going to show you that real quick again so you can see. Just hit share, you know, publish to a form, and then let's say if I wanted to embed the website, I would just copy this and put it on Springboard or WordPress or whatever, and that would go like in the HTML block of your web page, and people could use that. You could share it via a link if you wanted, and like this would be a tool that you could share with your list or share on your blog or whatever, and people could do that. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people I've seen, for instance, MindPal is really good about this. They will create a workflow and then embed it inside the blog post. So imagine if you had a blog post that was talking about sound healing, you could embed this particular frequency finder and maybe have it be a lead gen thing where you might ask for like name and email or something. And that could be inside the actual blog post, well, what's the right frequency for you kind of thing. And that way you can get these leads that you otherwise wouldn't be getting very easily, because that's like this really high perceived value because it's giving you something really custom and personalized and of interest to a lot of people that would be viewing that particular post. So let's go back here. Workflows. We'll do this quick. So these are like different workflows that MindPal's done. They've got a bunch of different categories from business, e-commerce, education, human resources, legal, marketing, operations, podcast, sales, and SEO. So let's just do marketing since most of us are marketers. Let's repurpose a blog post. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mindpal.io/blog. I'm just going to grab one of theirs just to make it simple. And we'll paste the blog post here. I'm going to click start reading URL. And so what this should do is it should read the actual blog post here. Hit submit. And so this should like repurpose it. So it should create like a LinkedIn post that would go about helping you promote this post. It's going to create like Facebook posts, Twitter posts, Instagram, all these different things. But here's where it gets exciting. You've got this customized, this AI workflow. Well, not only can you use this tool, but now you've got your own tool that you can modify and use and sell. And you could just improve those prompts again, just like I showed you before. So I'm going to customize this AI workflow just to make this easy to understand. So duplicate this template. I'm not going to click this for each one, but just to give you an idea, you click on let's say let's pretend the LinkedIn post was weak. I'll click this LinkedIn writer agent, and I'm just going to tell it to enhance this background. Now I could write this myself if I wanted, or use ChatGPT to help me. But here, this should give us a better output than what the default is, and so that's a great way to improve these things that people have already created, and you could just use them and make your own tool that way. Now they have this marketplace, so these are things that you as a user of MindPal, you can add stuff to the marketplace. So you could create these different ones. Like here's a meeting recap generator. So I'll just click on that because it's free. Um, you could upload like the audio file. I don't have one handy, but you could duplicate this workflow so you could learn how to use it. So that's pretty slick that you could duplicate this and then change it to how you want it. So um, like for instance, I do a lot of summaries for stuff in Ignite Driven. I could have one of these that I modify that does how I do the summaries for Ignite Driven and transcripts and stuff like that. And, be basically just modeling what they're doing. And I have the same kind of workflow if I wanted. Um, Now with the marketplace, they also have ones that you can pay for. So like I'll just click on this guy's one. I'm not going to buy it, but just give you an idea. So you can try it out. But if I want to duplicate this and use it in my own, it's going to give me an option where I would pay $29. I'm not going to do that right now, but it would give me like all those prompts, and then I would have this own workflow that I'd have in my account. I could customize it a bit if I needed, and that's a way that you could spend a little bit of money and get something that's already proven to be working, and you've got this kind of off the shelf software that you could offer your audience. I'm going to close some of these tabs again just because we got a ton of them running.
Would you be closer to like a halftime where it's a question answer, kind of split it down?
Um, yeah, I can run through these real quick and we can open it up for questions
Sounds
if
awesome.
that works. Cool. So we got the workflow recommender. This is pretty cool. Let's say you want to this is actually a brand new thing. Um, you can you can create these chatbots, and I didn't teach you guys how to create a chatbot and embed on your site because I know that we're in Ignite and we've got Zappy Chat and Consolidata, but they've added this new thing where you can create these chatbots, embed them in your site. This is released today, and it can also recommend different workflows that you've created to your customers. So this way, it's almost like a choose your own adventure thing for your customers to use. So like I just wrote a blog post, but I need to improve the SEO. Can you help? And this should give me some SEO tools to optimize my article. So it's going to embed um, an actual agent here that I could use to improve the article that I was looking for. Thanks. How about social media posts to promote it? And so then it's going to find another one where it's going to help you create like your social media content. It's going to add those in there, which is kind of cool. You got the tool idea library. So these are different tools that the AI has come up with for ideas for people. So I could just click on one of these, and here's like an AI, or here's a tool for like a client sentiment analyzer. I could just build this in seconds, and now I've got my own version of this tool that I could use as a workflow in my account. We got the workflow builder, which I kind of showed how this works earlier. All right. Um, Blog post outline. My outline, title, and meta description. And so this should like you can create your own version or your own tool this way, just kind of describing what you want, and it's going to create the workflow for you. Mind maps, I haven't showed. This is an option actually inside the tool or inside the workflows, you can create mind maps. They also have a mind map generator on their website that you can use. So let's just say digital marketing, and it's going to create a mind map here. This could be on any topic you want. And now it's created a mind map. It's still generating it, but it's creating a mind map that you could use for your training. You could download it as a graphic. So that's kind of cool. Carousel generator. This is also nice. So let's say I'm going to grab some content here. Let's grab this so it doesn't overwhelm it. Close some of these just because we got a bunch open. While that loads, I'll load up another one here. AI model decider. Hopefully we haven't overwhelmed the internet. See if we're getting some questions here. Am I coming through okay on your guys' end? I wasn't sure if my internet's clogged up.
It looks like it's still redirecting to that, but your feed is very clear for us,
Okay.
and audio is great.
Okay, cool. So might open it up for questions. We'll see if those redirect. I don't know if it's if their website's glitching or
Yeah, again,
I imagine a lot of us are probably on their website right now checking things out.
make sure you raise your hand. We're not going to list them off from the chat, so make sure you have your raised hand. We'll limit to one question, and we'll call on you in order when the read is ready.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Yeah, if you want to pull someone up while those links
Yeah, it
load,
looks like
I'll
Andrew had his hand up early on in advance. Are you there, Andrew, and able to ask Reed?
Hey guys, sorry, I'm just driving today, so I don't want to get too involved here. Real quick, I noticed in this app, basically, it'll do a whole bunch of different functions all in order, which is great. But what about where you want to give more input along the way? Like, for example, Perry's process to, let's say, build a bot or an assistant. It asks you questions and you're giving it inputs, and then it's building more, and then you go to the next spot and it's asking more inputs.
Yeah, let me just show you real quick how that looks. So I'm just going to grab like an existing workflow here so we don't start from scratch here. But you just click new step, and then you can do user input. And so this way you can just put in whatever you want. So it could be a text or a file or a URL or images. And more details.
Andrew, you're cutting out a little bit on your reply. All right. If that satisfies the question, we can go ahead and get Scott. Hey, Scott, can you unmute?
Yep. Reed, thank you.
Hey, Scott.
Been looking forward to this, and I've kind of stayed out of the tool because I wanted to hear your demonstration before I went off and into the never-ending hole of things to do. Could you talk through kind of how you went about that lead laundering tool? And I'm just curious, like, how much of it was it, like, how much of it are you just like leaning on MindPal functionality, like the, create a mind map or something like that? And how much are you providing, actual text from the thing, like, or from the actual event? And then Russell said like one question, but I'm curious on how you would recommend exporting this. Like if you just go through Zapier to like throw it into a Google Drive, specifically like images and that kind of thing, or if MindPal, I don't know, I guess like getting it out of just that single result panel in this current tool. Thank you.
So yeah, with this, so I'll just walk you through real quick. I created the inputs that I put in individually, like the niche, your name, your email. And then I just kind of listed out each one of the things that Perry talked about. I went in order. I looked at his slides that he had. And so I believe I went in order here. Here's my prompt, real fancy here. Create an ebook on niche. So on whatever the niche was, and the author is and then your name, and then the actual prompt for the agent, I just had it enhance the background and create a prompt here. I think for a lot of them, I had it where it could go, maybe not on the web for this one, but some of them, I think I had it where it would go on the web for different things. Um, I just used like the default tokens for everything. I think for some of them, I had tools like I think there's the mind map and stuff down below. I think that one had where it would actually create the mind map or like the PowerPoint slides. I think that was one where it created like PowerPoint slides. I think flashcards was one that I used for different ones, and they've added some of these since I created this tool. But basically, I just let MindPal create a lot of the prompts for me with those and go from there with it, and that's how I did it. As for getting that information out, um, I mean, like in my account, for instance, I could have it where I do like this post-run webhook, and I could send it to something specific that way. So I guess the easiest way would be if I was like to share this, and then I would like export the file, and then, for instance, you would copy it into your account, and then make whatever changes you want, and then have a webhook go um, to whatever, Zapier or Make or whatever you're using. And that's one way that you could output all that data at once. Otherwise, like you can copy individual things. I know the export sometimes fails on here just because there's so much information. I mean, this is probably tens of thousands of words on here, so it's quite a bit on this particular workflow. So something to keep in mind with it. I know there's export and it's like PDF and docx. I would probably just copy and paste the things that I wanted. If you needed to regenerate something, like let's say you didn't like the look of it, you could hit regenerate. You can change the prompt here if you want to give it some more detail, or I could just regenerate without prompt, and it would just regenerate this. So that's a nice way to get, like, if something isn't quite what you want, you can get it that way for you. So hopefully that answers that question. I see those pages loaded up, so I'll do those real quick, and we can get back to some questions after that. But I know I have some stuff like copied in my
Thank you.
just keep your hand raised, and we'll get back to you on that on the next question and answer portion.
Sounds good. Thank you. Let me just model detector. So this is where you can determine if you want to use like OpenAI or Claude or whatever. I created a marketing tool, create social media posts. Okay, now what this is going to do is say, well, actually, Claude 3 Haiku is going to do a better job, and it's going to compare it to the other models for you, and then you could build your agent that way. So it's kind of cool that it'll start with that and help you out with this. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to copy this text. I'll do these AI carousels. So these carousels are really popular on social media, and this is kind of a fun way to create some content to share online and get some massive engagement. And so these are like, I could just download these as images and share them on like my Instagram or Facebook. I can change the theme. I can do like a background color. So it's kind of fun. It adds even emojis and stuff. And so here's some content that I could start sharing on social media, and that's just a free tool inside of MindPal. And then maybe you want to do the next question. I'll load up some more of these.
Yeah, we have Matthew
things
right here. Matthew, are you able to unmute?
Hey, Reed.
Excellent.
Hey, Matthew.
Thanks for doing this. This is awesome. Question for you. Does MindPal have the ability to do like lead data enrichment? Like if you pass it a list of leads, is it able to pull in data sources to find phone numbers and emails and things like that? Or is it more of a content generation tool than anything?
More of content generation. However, if you can use an API with different stuff, you could have it do different things. I know I didn't use an API for this, but one of the tools that I generated the other day for Driven was like a podcast dossier thing. Let me see if I can just pull that up quick so you can kind of see what it looks like. I don't know which one it is, but we'll pretend it's this one. And let's see if we can see a result. Oh yeah, it's probably this one. Oh, that's going to show people's actual stuff. Well, whatever. It goes out, and basically I have it where it does like the host name and the podcast name. And then what it's going to do is it's going to use that information and search the web. So it searches Google for that host name and podcast name, and it would grab a bunch of information about the podcast. It would figure out, the host background, some information about the podcast, who listens to the podcast, figure out the different guests that have been on it, figure out sponsors, and then it would create like this whole like PDF dossier for you. And so that's one way that you can do it. Another way would be to go in here and then click tools. There's like assign tools to this agent. You could do a custom tool. And so if you got an API into some sort of lead enrichment tool, you might be able to send it out through here. So one thing, like an input you could do would be where you could upload like a file of leads. For instance, maybe it's a spreadsheet with like name and email and address or something like that. And then you could have like an API call go out to some sort of lead enrichment tool, and it could append all that information. And then maybe you'd have some other stuff that would, maybe create some custom content for that ideal person, or maybe it could get a lot of information from those data points and really tell you much more about that customer or that ideal prospect, and really be able to fine tune your marketing to that particular person. So that's
Okay.
one way you could do that.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know we're doing one question at a time, but I want to make sure the lead laundering bribes tool, are you incurring a cost every time I play around with it and run it?
Yeah, but whatever.
Okay.
That's life.
Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll try to
Nonchalant
limit it
about
then.
that. That's cool.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Hey, we have Allie next. If you can unmute.
Yeah.
Hi, Reed. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Allie.
This is so powerful. Reed, I'm going to ask you this kind of a question. So, what don't I know to ask? Like, in terms of being an Ignite member, what might this tool replace? Because we have so many tools and we're adding all the time. So, like, what would this replace? Like a bunch of things? And also, we pay for Notion, and I'm wondering, would this replace Notion? Because I'm trying to use all of my Ignite features to the most advantageous yet streamlined in this most streamlined fashion. Do you follow what I'm asking?
Yeah. So this could replace a lot of different tools for you. You're going to have like some API usage costs for things. I know like you could get some credits on your plan with MindPal, but if you go like above and beyond, you're going to want to put in like your OpenAI key or your Anthropic key or your Gemini key, all those different things. So that's something to bear in mind. If you're doing any of those other tools where you're adding like a custom API into some third-party tool, that would have some incurred costs per usage. But I've found that since I've been using MindPal for a couple months now, I'm really less likely to look at other tools to buy. And I'm someone that well, I mean, in Perry's world, I'm definitely known as the tool guy. So if you look at AI Bot Summit from a couple of years ago, I was the guy that was showing off all the AI tools for everyone, and did like an hour-and-a-half presentation on AI tools. So I found that using tools like MindPal, it's really curtailed my addiction of buying a lot of different tools, I guess for good and bad, in some regards, just because I've found that it's so easy for me to create my own version of a tool that costs pennies to run versus buying something that I'm going to spend, hundreds or thousands of dollars to buy. In regards to Notion, you do have a note area inside of MindPal. I don't really use it myself, but you can do like what's a new note here, and then you got a bunch of different options for different stuff that you can do. Like your quizzes and flashcards and carousel posts, and you can do all that kind of stuff inside this kind of notes. So that may replace Notion for you. Otherwise, with your knowledge sources, I believe Notion is actually an option here. I'm not quite sure how you'd use it. It might be the URL that you go enable to use it, but I know there's a way to connect Notion in here somewhere. And so that's an option where you could continue to use Notion, but feed it into some of these workflows that you create, automations that you create.
Okay. Oh, so Reed, is there a base cost to use this? And then like what's your average cost per month? And I get that you're like the tool guru and I totally love that. But like for someone like me, I'm starting out and this seems fantastic. And then like if I use Claude and all these Perplexity and things like this, does it cost to put all of them into that? It costs extra?
So what they do, we can get an idea here. So I've used almost 6,000 credits so far this month for AI credits.
Are you on a
If I
certain
go,
plan?
so I actually have a lifetime account with them. They had a lifetime promotion a while back that I purchased, so I don't think they still offer that. But if we go to MindPal pricing, I think it's a really good question for you because I know the pricing is going up in a few days. So they're going to double their pricing November 1st, but anyone who gets in before then is locked in. So you can do a year plan, and that starts at $20 a month. And like that's 5,000 AI credits a month, which is plenty for most people. I mean, I'm probably their heaviest user or one of their heaviest users. So like I showed, had used like 6,000 credits this month. So that's just it's not that bad. You can buy individual credits through them. I think it's like $9 per thousand if you want, or you can add your own key and go above. If you want to pay monthly, it's starting at $29 a month right now to try it out, and then so on and so forth. I think their business plan, this one, you actually have stuff where you have consultations. Actually, it looks like Team has it now too, where there's they'll actually help you build your workflows for you. So if you got something you want to automate, you can give it to them and they will help create the automations for you. So it's kind of a concierge kind of deal. Otherwise, they charge like $500 to do that. So that's something to consider, that they include that as something for people that get some of these higher end plans.
Yeah, awesome. And can we move on to Steve? And then after Steve, do you want to continue? And then we'll hold more questions till later.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. And don't put your hands down, people. Please keep that order in there. Steve, are you able to? All right, great.
Yes. I was just curious about some of the API features that you brushed over. I was hoping to be able to, a specific use case that I think others might be interested in. I want to pull form data that I get from Springboard, pass that as part of a prompt to MindPal, and then have that, and then export back the responses back into Springboard so that I can add custom values. How easy or hard is that, or is there a tool I'd need to do that?
I mean, it's a little bit beyond the scope of this call. But basically, I'll show you real quick where you'd start with stuff. And this would be regardless of if you're using Springboard or something else. We'll just open up one of these workflows. You've got this API and webhooks reference. So you just click on this tab, and this gives you the different code that you can use for that. It gives you the different instructions that you can create your API key. And then I know in their documentation, let's see, they've got a video and they got documentation here.
Perfect.
I mean, APIs are kind of nerdy to begin with, but it does give you the information you need. And they've got a very active Facebook group and very active support. So
it is possible.
They can definitely help you.
Great.
It's definitely possible. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. And then to like send it back, let me go back here. You've got the post-run webhook. So that'd be one way to like really send it back easily. So when this whole run is finished, it would send it back to whatever tool you're using with a webhook.
Okay, and then will it send back an entire JSON file? So like if it'll have multiple inputs, or I can put it to multiple one run will be a multiple, okay.
Yep.
Response. Great.
Yeah, so that, and they've got a step-by-step guide and videos for that too. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Shall I continue on, or was there another question you wanted to hit,
Do you
Russell?
want to go ahead and hit up more of your slides, and then we can ask more questions at the end? I mean,
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So let's try to automate something here. Basically, this is going to tell you if it should just be an agent or a multi-agent. So figure out the SOP from a transcript. This will probably be a single agent, but it's going to use AI to decide if it would be a single or multi-agent thing. Now, take a transcript and create blog posts, social media posts, and podcast, and a summary. Let's do that. And so this should be like a multi-agent. Oh, I have to reload the page. Sometimes it's kind of funny. So I'll just paste that in there. And this should decide that's a multi-agent. Now, if I wanted to do that, generate with AI. And here it's extracting the key points, drafting a blog post, creating a social media post, and drafting a summary. Boom. I got something that could replace workflow, and then it would just be a matter of improving that as needed. Now, if I wanted to reverse engineer an image and figure out like a prompt for it, I'm just going to upload an image. I think one of the Ignite backgrounds, and this is going to come up with like, here's like a brand designer, which makes sense because it's a logo. Excuse me. And so this is creating like a designer for like a logo designer. So that could give you like the different prompts for Midjourney or Dolly or Flux or Ideogram that you could use to create potentially a logo that would be in a similar vein of Ignite. Let's load up a few more things here, and we'll go to those. Close some of these out. So a research table. I'm just going to do the example. So research the impact of social media on mental health. I think is what it says. This is going to generate like this table here, which is kind of cool that I can create this, but it also can turn into a workflow. So now I can take this information, and now I got this workflow that could be a tool that I use, and I've saved that into my account, and I can use that as I wish. You got these leaked prompts. So here's some prompts that they found for different things online, and I could take this, and like this was a SEO optimizer. I could add this agent to my workspace, or what I could do is I could copy this and then go into the prompt optimizer. And here I can give it the information I want. Let's say I already had some example output. I'm just going to say test here just to because I don't have the output. But I'll do optimize this prompt, and what it should do is it should give us a much more detailed prompt to get better results. Turn that into an agent, and now I've got another worker that I can use for my business. And I can enhance that again if I wanted. And there I've, taken something that was already successful somewhere else, and I've enhanced it a couple times to make it an even better agent for my business. And we're getting close to the end for links here, so I'm just going to open up what's remaining. And so if you guys have questions, feel free to start raising your hand. We talked about pricing, so it starts at $20 a month. I've got additional resources here at the bottom. I'm not going to open these because it's kind of ridiculous here, but it's the YouTube channels for MindPal and their CEO and their head of growth. You got the customer success stories. You got their blog. those are actually both helpful. I'll open those up. You got the roadmap. Their documentation is really helpful. They also have this AI chatbot. So I'm just going to type in an email here. This is fun. And hi, I'd like to send data from Go High Level to MindPal and then get the output back into Go High Level. You guide me? Let's see what it does. I mean, it's not going to have the information from Go High Level, but it should have the API information from MindPal. And so that is teaching you, how to set up the webhooks and the zaps and stuff and connecting it. It's giving you the API information. It's giving you like their Facebook group for more assistance if you need, and their support email if you need more help. So that's kind of cool. You've got this is their documentation thing that I linked to, and this has a lot of information on how to use their tool. It's got videos for different things. So like if I go to workflow, I think it was workflow. This says like the webhook stuff and the API stuff. It's a little less nerdy way of figuring out how to do the webhooks and APIs specifically for MindPal. You got their blog, which they put out new stuff on here probably a couple times a week where they demo different things with MindPal and talk about different things and advanced features with MindPal. You got their customer success stories, which I was featured on. They just started doing this like a week or so ago. Oh, they've got a couple like detailed pages here. So this one is like all about sales. And so they've got different things, like here's templates that are outreach based, here's prospecting based workflows, here's sales enablement, here's sales ops, here's sales training. So let's say that you were doing a bunch of sales calls, you could try the sales call analyzer, and you can even put this into your account if you wanted, but you could upload your recording. I'm actually just going to copy this into my account so you can see what the prompts are. So you could upload your recording. It's going to transcribe it. It's going to generate the insights. It's going to evaluate it, determine the next steps to do, and then draft a follow-up email to the prospect or to the potential customer. So that's pretty cool with what that one does. And you can obviously improve that and add more stuff to it if you wanted. You got their SEO operating system stuff. So stuff like repurposing blog posts or infographics. You got stuff for creating your ideas. You got production stuff. You've got stuff for like reviewing your blog posts and making them better. So I mean, just those sections alone, those are very detailed tools or services that not only you could offer as a business and make money with MindPal, but you could use them to help you save a ton of money and rapidly grow your business using MindPal. So hopefully that gave you guys some food for thought, some ideas on how you can use MindPal. And then I guess if there's any more questions, I'm here.
We definitely have questions up here, and it looks like some people are posting you got them on the lifetime deal, so it looks like they have spread around a link that might have one still available, and people were asking, do you have any hookups on any deals on that?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not know if those are active or not. So
Okay, gotcha.
I haven't talked to them about that.
Awesome. All right, so let's go with Terry first. Terry, are you able to unmute? If so,
Yep.
it's your question time. Okay.
Whoop. Hey, Reed. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I had two questions, but let me ask the easy, quick one, and then if you want to move on to somebody else, that's fine. But I'll give them both to you.
Sure.
Where is the enhancement pulling from? Is that pulling from your trained agents or from MindPal? And then I was just curious, like if you could just maybe you've done this, your top 5 or like 10, 8 tools that you use like on a really regular basis in addition to MindPal. Somebody else kind of asked that question, but I'm not sure you answered it.
Sure. So the enhancements, that is like a prompt that they've built inside of MindPal, and then that's like querying OpenAI or Claude or whatever they're using to come up with enhancing what you're using for your prompt. So if we go into MindPal, if I hit get started, just to show you what it looks like, workflows, and if I click here, it's like this has like really no information. But if I click enhance this background, that sends the information here, like the name, the background, the desired output. It sends that information over to like OpenAI, and then it creates a more detailed prompt for you. So hopefully that answers that question. For tools, I mean, there's a lot of different things like that. That's a a rabbit hole that we would never get off the call. It really depends on, is there a particular thing you want to do that you're looking for a tool for? I might know something off the top of my head
Well,
that could help you.
we're an online marketing, we have a little online boutique marketing agency. So I was just curious, maybe from that standpoint, if there's, you know, just in addition to MindPal, like, you know, do you use Make or Zapier? Which one, like which one, you know what I mean? The tools that kind of go along with this, what would be your top tools, would you say?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I use Make and Zapier quite a bit. I've got the different API keys for all the different platforms that integrate in here, like OpenAI and Claude and Gemini and Facebook's Llama thing. I've got all those embedded. You could use like rapidapi.com is another place to get a lot of APIs for some more unique stuff that you could feed into MindPal that way. So that would be another resource. But basically, it's whatever flavor you want for doing those webhooks and those APIs. So if you find Zapier easier, which is what I personally find easier, I tend to gravitate towards Zapier. But Make is a wonderful platform too, and I use that as well. And so if you prefer Make, use Make, and they both work with MindPal, and it's a great way to send and receive data between your automations.
So do you still need to pay then, like if using this for like Midjourney and Ideogram, you know, or does this kind of just pull in and give you access to all of that, or do you already have to have that set up?
So
whatever.
Midjourney, last I heard, does not have an API. I think Ideogram does. So you would need, like, Ideogram doesn't have a native integration with MindPal, so you would need to pay whatever usage if they're charging for their API yet. Now, for like OpenAI and Claude and all that kind of stuff, you have a certain amount of credits that are included. I think at the $20 a month plan, it's like 5,000 credits a month or whatever. We're at almost 6,000 credits that I've used this month, and we're on the 23rd, and I know I use this way more than most people, so the $20 a month plan is probably more than enough for most people to use. And then you just either would add your API key if you want to go over what's included, or you just pay, they have a little markup that they charge you if you want to go directly through them. It's, I think, $9 1,000 credits that they can charge you extras, but I would probably just put in my API key if I was getting close to the 5,000 credit limit, and go from there.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. We'll move on to the doctor is in. We have Dr. Ann. Hey, can you unmute? Awesome.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
This is, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I can't find your face talking, but this is great. Awesome. Thank you for the valuable presentation. So right now I have an AI software. It's Wisdom. It is one of the AI by Stu McLaren, which I really like using, but I think I can use MindPal for this. So what it offers me is that I load all my YouTube channel there. It's just, we put my YouTube URL on there. I put all my stuff in the PDF, loaded in there. So if anyone asks us a question on YouTube or anywhere, my staff will input that question on in the AI, and it spits out the answer from my content. So it's almost like cloning Dr. Ann in my content, but it also references the video and where in the video that I talk about that. So they can not only have the answer, but they also have the reference of the video as well. Is that capability something that I can do? Because one of the things it can also do is can also make it a lead gen. So because the person have to put in their email before it gives the answer, and also it referenced the my video.
Yes. So what you could do is you could create a knowledge source where you upload like the links to all those videos or the transcripts or whatever content. It could be blog posts, podcasts, all that kind of stuff. You can upload that
Can
as
I
a
put it as a
knowledge source.
channel, Reed, or do I have to download? I have to put in every URL.
I think you'd have to put every URL because I think it would just pull what was on that channel at that time, and it's not going to know when something new gets posted. So I think you'd have to, add whenever there's a new video kind of thing. But I haven't checked that, so I don't know offhand. I'm just assuming that's how it would go. And then inside your actual workflows for your individual agents, you could have it cite the knowledge source. So it could cite that it was a certain video kind of thing. And there might be some massaging of the prompt that you'd need to go in here to have it give, like the timestamp or whatever of the video. That would be something to play with. I haven't played with that yet, but it can definitely cite what like video or blog or podcast or whatever that's referencing the information from, and share that as a link. And then what you could do is you could have that be like a chat bot that you embed on your website, where it'd be almost like a chat bot on the lower right corner that you click on and have a conversation with. And with that, you can have it where you ask for the contact details and get that information up front too.
Gotcha. So you would have to create it as a part of the workflow and give it a prompt.
Yes, and to get the exact prompt for that would probably be something that I'd either play with or ask in their Facebook group, because someone's probably done it. I just haven't personally done it yet myself for anything like that. But I would imagine that you could get it to be pretty specific with what you wanted with the right prompt.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Dr. Ann, what was that tool or software that you were mentioning?
It's called Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's called wisdom.ai. No, .io. Wisdom.io. And it's part I if you belong to membership.io, which is by Stu McLaren, he's like the membership king. That's part of his software.
Thank you. We got the URL up in the chat. And
there
next
you go.
is Mr. Key West, but not limited to, Brian F. How's it going? Can you unmute?
Hey, Reed, thanks for all this, buddy.
Hey, Brian. Hey,
great. I just had one big question before I go way down this rabbit hole. I like this process. I played with this the other day as soon as you said you was going to be doing this. And I think the speed to getting something launched is, which goes right along with your article that they did on you, the amount of time that you save could be huge here. My biggest question along that is, what if I'm building a custom program for the travel site and I've got my API connections coming in from the resorts and rental agencies and whatever it may be. But we built everything on here, uploaded it on, embedded into the site. What is, and you might not know, I mean, what is the long-term ramifications if I went to sell this? Let's say somebody came in and bought the site. I mean, what's your ownership in it compared to building everything in ChatGPT long-term?
So you could like export your entire workflow. So if I click share here, like I can export the actual instructions, and so I could export this, and then someone could I'll create a workflow here just to show you. I'll do like new workflow. I can just import from that file. And so someone could just create like a new MindPal account and import that instruction. They might have to customize a few things, like if they didn't have their API key connected for different things, they'd have to do that. But otherwise, it should work off the shelf for them.
Okay, that was my biggest question, because I'm really happy with the speed to getting the automation done and connecting all the different agents that we have for there. Because I think we're about 14 different agents that we're going to have just on that platform right now. So.
Yeah, no, that would be something to definitely keep in mind if you ever wanted to like sell or whatever. But being able to export as the JSON
Okay.
should really ease it up. The only thing would be if for some reason MindPal went under or whatever, but they seem to be rapidly growing and have been really expanding their reach in the market. So I don't foresee them going away anytime soon.
So based on so at the different pricing levels, based on how large we want to create it and the volume of users that's going to be on the actual platform, do you recommend it going up to the business stage where you get access to them to actually help building?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen that it's pretty easy to build stuff on here. So I would start with the $20 a month plan. I think it starts at 29. Try it out for a few days here, and if you decide that, hey, I need some extra hand holding or whatever, then upgrade.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I did see there was a button that I can contact them to, just in case we went to. That may be eventually what the enterprise level was at that level.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's ways to upgrade. You can also pay like a one-off thing. I think it's like $500 or whatever, and they can build a workflow for you, and you could still stay at the $20 a month
Stay where
plan
I'm
if you
at.
wanted
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
But it's probably worth just upgrading if you're gonna do that and then downgrade.
Sure. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Great job.
You're welcome. Yep.
That was very great questions. It looks like, I believe it's Joe next. Is that Joe with Match Guarantee? Can you unmute?
Yeah, it's Joe here. Oh my goodness. I don't know which question to ask. Reed, brilliant presentation. You're awesome. You rock.
I like it.
Which one should I ask? Okay, it seemed like the doctor on I'm trying to click to find that site, but basically, am I understanding that I could basically have it consume my entire YouTube channel of videos and create an ask? So hey, log on to this bot, ask me any question, and it will use all the content of my videos as its knowledge base in answering the question. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct. Yeah. So you could basically put all the URLs here and add that information, and you probably want to save it to a folder just so you could reference it again for you. You could also do it as text and upload like individual transcripts if you wanted, or you could take files and let's say that you have all the transcripts saved of all your videos. You could just choose all those files and upload them that way of all the actual transcripts or the blog posts or whatever. And all that information could be saved, or even information you haven't put on the web. Maybe it's stuff that you have as some internal documents that you don't have on a website or whatever. You could upload those files, and that could be the knowledge source for this. You could use voice and basically just record whatever you want. That can be a file for the knowledge base. And then what you do
just
is
to clarify, sorry to interrupt, just to clarify, I want to upload all the URLs of the videos. Will it transcribe the URLs and create the knowledge base based on the transcription that it will create of those videos?
It should. I haven't tried it with putting a bunch of YouTube videos into a knowledge base, but it should work because it's been able to read other YouTube videos other ways. So I don't see why it won't with the knowledge base. So it should be able to transcribe that information and put it in there. If not, there's pretty easy ways to get that information. It's like YouTube channeltranscripts.com, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can just type in the channel and it can download all the transcripts for you. And you can upload those files if you want.
It's just that I have 2,000 videos. So if I can just put in the URL, it'll make it a little quicker. And then how do I, sorry, a little bit of a techno challenge here, but how do I, could you walk me through how to actually create this? Is that possible?
Yeah, let me do it real quick here. So we'll just grab one of these agents here. And what I want to do is there's the three dots here. Just click new chatbot. And so I'm not going to change the name or anything, but you would select the knowledge base.
Which agent do I start with? Which base agent do I start with, or it doesn't matter?
So basically you just create a new agent.
Okay.
and be, like
They click
my
chatbot.
chatbot, whatever.
Yeah.
Start from scratch kind of thing. Yeah, you do your knowledge source, you do your like those YouTube videos kind of thing. You click create. So then it should create it right here. Click the 3 dots, new chatbot. I'm just going to call it my chatbot so we know it's that. You can do a description, you can do an avatar, you can do a bunch of different stuff in here if you want. You can hide the branding. You can do stuff where you can embed it, but hit create. And once it's done created, I just go over to chatbot. I go here. And I can preview it. I can publish it. So if I hit publish, I got like a chat bubble widget I can embed on my website, like in the lower right corner kind of thing. I could put an iframe or I can link out to it. And then it would be something like this. How can I make money with newsletter? And so this should look at the newsletter empire training that Perry did. And it should search the information. And it's going to talk about stuff. It's going to reference different things inside the transcripts for me if I wanted. You could turn that feature off too.
How did you train your knowledge base on this one? Where does the knowledge training?
Basically, you just go to knowledge sources.
Oh, knowledge sources.
And then new knowledge source. For this one, it was like PDF files. I just uploaded a group of those and saved them to a folder.
Sorry, but URL.
But you can do URLs. You just put a comma after each one. You could copy and paste text. You could do a voice recording, all that.
So YouTube URLs you'd put there for the YouTube videos.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And does the chat widget fit on any type of coded website?
I mean, I haven't checked every platform, but it's pretty universal from whatever I've seen.
Oh, so a custom website.
It should work.
So a custom website site design. It
yep.
should.
A WordPress, go high level, whatever. It should work fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, let me move on to Christopher.
Yep. Thanks.
Well, and if you think of another one, hold up your hand and we'll get going. But let's go ahead and unmute Christopher if you can.
Hey, Reed. Thanks so much for sharing MindPal. I know this question's been asked, but I'm not sure I'm clear. So the subscription that you pay to MindPal, does that pay subscriptions to the other paid, the ChatGPT, the Gemini, the Llama, and the Claude? Or do you have to have subscriptions with those to bring those into MindPal?
So from my understanding, if you're paying the monthly subscription, like $20 a month, you get 5,000 credits a month. That's included. So you don't need an API key as long as you're going under that. Now, if you're going above the 5,000 credits, you can buy new credits, like 1,000 credits at a time. I think they charge $9 per 1,000 credits, or you could put in your own API key. Now, I've seen in the chat that some people have found like a lifetime deal link for MindPal. Yeah. Those you would need to have an API key. You have to use an API key if you do that. Yep.
So the monthly does get you that credit into those other platforms, whereas the unlimited doesn't. And there's like 3 levels of unlimited. There's the regular, the pro, and the max.
Yep. Yeah. I always buy the highest tier of anything I purchase. So.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much.
I know with the lifetime plan, at least when I bought it, that's what gave me the options to do like the mind maps and the flashcards and all the other like tool things. I think the other, like the basic lifetime plan, I can't remember what they called it, that did not have that feature. It had more functionality the more you spent with the lifetime deal.
Awesome. So. That's a super pal. All right, Vicky, are you able to unmute? Ask Reed.
Yes. I have 2 questions. The first question is, does Reed have an affiliate link for us?
Yep. So all the links in the document are actually my affiliate link. I appended my affiliate ID on all those links. So if you click on any of those links, I should get affiliate credit for anything with MindPal.
Okay, great. Thank you. And the
Yeah,
other
thank you.
question I had was, you were mentioning the difference on the positive of being with the team. So if I have an idea of what I'd like to have done, if I do go on to the team one, then they will do it all for me.
Yeah, that is my understanding with that. So if I go to docs.mindpal.space, they got a page here that talks about this AI workflow setup service. So basically, you do like a consultation call with them. They mentioned here that's on the business plan, but I'm pretty sure on the team plan it said something about it too. Yeah, so this is team plan. It mentions it as well, so I would think it's included with team. But basically, you get a consultation with them. They plan things, and then they set up and configure some workflows for you within a few days, and then they test it out a few days later with you. And basically, there's no like hard limit on the workflows that they build for you. And they test that stuff out. You can buy this thing individually if you want. It's $500 and use it at a later date if you want. But that's one way to do it too. If you want to stay at like the $20 a month plan. But personally, I'd probably just upgrade, have them build stuff, and then if I decided I wanted to downgrade. So
Can you find out so that on your links that you also offer the lifetime plan?
what the link for the lifetime plan? Yeah, I can ask them if that's still like an option. Because I don't know if they're actively promoting that. I know someone was poking around with the
Everybody wants what you have.
a robots.txt file to find that, I think. But I don't know if that's something they're actively promoting or not. So I can ask them.
Thank you.
So far, we haven't stumped you yet. So I guess we got Dean for the next question. Dean, are you able to unmute?
I am.
Hey,
Hey,
Dean.
man. How
How you
are you,
doing?
Reed?
Good. How you doing?
Man, you're blowing my head.
Oh, thanks.
Does this create chatbots? Can this
Yes.
replace like Zappy Chat or Whalebot?
It can. I mean, I didn't go with the intention of trying to step
I
on those toes.
understand that. I understand that. But
yes,
simple
yes, you can.
FAQ bots or booking bots.
Yep.
Qualifying bots.
Booking, I haven't tried with this. I mean, possibly with some sort of API. Their chatbot isn't particularly designed for that, where like Zappy Chat and Consolidata were built for that because it was built for Go high level users. So that would be one thing to keep in mind. But if it's just like a regular knowledge base of, you wanted to upload a bunch of content of yours and have people ask questions of that content, it's totally fine for that. It's perfect for that. But booking, I haven't tried. I don't. You would need to do some sort of API into like Calendly or something, I think, to make that work.
Well, we have
but I
Zappy
have
Chat.
not played with it.
Okay. So I would do is just use that web scraping tool inside of MindPal, and does it create a CSV file for you, or how does it work? Is it simple to do? Do I have to create any kind of workflow for it, or?
I mean, personally, if I were to just create a chat bot based off of content on my own site, I would probably just use Whalebot because it has that ability where it can scrape all of your website with a single click and put that into the chat bot. I'm sure Russell can share how that works maybe today or another call or whatever, but that has a capability where it can scrape everything on your website and turn into a chat bot like in a matter of minutes for you with everything. So that's probably what I'd use instead of MindPal for that. But if you wanted to be more specific and have like PDFs or something that you upload into this bot to really train it and hone it in on what you want, that's where I feel that the MindPal one would excel versus other platforms.
Just because I've been playing with Whalebot for a while, and this is not a diss or anything, it's just there's some issues with it.
Sure.
So with the scraping, or even doing it with individual pages and then downloading and uploading, and it's like a certain percentage of the time it just can't answer a simple question.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do it with MindPal, basically you could take like your sitemap, so you'd have all the URLs of your page. You'd like copy and paste that into like a text file,
Yeah.
and maybe put a comma at the end of each URL, and then copy and paste all those URLs into MindPal, and it would create a conversational chatbot based off of your website or your blog.
Okay, great.
All right. That sounds pretty
Okay.
hopeful. We'll go to Ali has another question there.
Yeah. Hi, Reed.
Hey.
Thank you. Several people have put in a URL to buy a lifetime version, and I'm just wondering because I loaded the page. Oh gosh, hold on. And I just missed exactly what you said about the. Let me see. It says recommended lifetime unlimited max, and then it has about 9 or 7 or 8 selling points. And I'm just wondering if it's worth buying that versus paying like $20 or more a month forever.
Sure. So how I would evaluate this is, you've seen me use it. I would start with like the $20 a month plan. I mean, you might even be able to sign up for free and play around. I'm not quite sure. I think there's a trial, and see if you like it before you fork over money for a lifetime deal. And then, use it for a day or two and go, I'd rather have the lifetime deal. I don't see anything wrong with, wagering $20 to see if you want to spend 500 or whatever the lifetime deal is right now, versus buying the lifetime deal and going, oh, I don't like this, kind of thing. So that's what I would do personally, is test it out quick. You've seen me do it for the last hour and a half or whatever, 2 hours, but then upgrade if you wanted to.
Well, the reason I bring it up, Reed, is because we're loyal to you. So, like other people have said, I would, we have a couple of days. I would rather buy a lifetime offer through your affiliate link.
Sure.
So I would wait. If you could find out, if you'd be willing to find out, I would rather.
Yeah, I'll ask them after the call, if there's like a lifetime deal, because
and then
I actually wasn't planning on sharing the lifetime link, just because I didn't know if they were still promoting it. I bought it several months ago, so I just didn't know if it was still a valid link.
And then on this lifetime deal that one of the Ignite members put in, it takes us to a page where there's also, this guy has it has a discount if you put in a certain code, something. It says Ken Mood 25, and you get another 25% off your your buying of the lifetime. So that might be, I'm just throwing it out there because to keep my money in the family, I'd rather buy it through Reed.
No, I appreciate that. I will ask them. I should have asked them before the call, but I just didn't get around to it, if they still had the lifetime deal. But I'll ask them once I get off. They're based in Vietnam, so who knows if they're awake or asleep right now. But once I hear back, I will update Ignite or the document or whatever, and that can be sent out to you guys if that's an option or not.
Yeah, I need a disclaimer that said you approved none of these other links that are going in the chat. Those are all on your own, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You're not saying. All right, well, let's move on.
Thank you, Russell. I just wanted to say that because I'd rather buy through you. And again, like Russell said, we don't know if they're valid, and I'm sure you would get us the best deal. So, and I like to keep my money. I'm a loyalist, so
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
We're going to call on Joe next, but I wanted to preface, make sure that if you have any other questions, we're at the closing point where I believe his hand is last raised. If you have anything, or you saw some questions maybe from some other Ignite members, they're not wanting to unmute themselves, feel free to be that spokesperson and raise your hand and get it. I do have one after Joe's done from somebody that wanted that. So Joe, you have the floor.
Yeah. Hey, Reed. Thanks again. Hey, about the sales call analyzer. This is a tool that's already pre-built inside the software. Hey, and I'm just wondering if anybody's. I took a Mike Koenig's AI course for $8,000. useful, kind of early stage. This is just blowing my mind. I'm just wondering, they had prompting to design for a sales analyze, like to analyze sales. What we do is we do Zoom sales consultations at the front, kind of top end of our funnel. Could I put the transcription of the Zoom call into it and maybe this is my idea. I want to know what you think, how well this will work. So I want to transcribe the sales calls that sold. Those are for clients that convert sale. And then say, hey, figure out an SOP, like design a script actually to sell. What's common in these sales? It'll do that.
Yeah, you could totally do that because, here, let me just, I don't have a file handy, but here, like you could send your recording. So this would be like an MP3 of the call or the MP4 from Zoom. Then it'll go out and actually transcribe the call for you. Then this one could generate the insights. So for instance, this one's looking at like the customer needs, their objections, any notable stuff. So you could customize this prompt to be even more detailed on, what worked, what didn't work, kind of thing on here, and be very specific of what you wanted with it. That actually would be the evaluate sales performance right here. So you could totally customize this any way you wanted with whatever information that you needed to get out of it.
Okay, and could I stuff it with, like, say, set 10 sold sales calls at the same time and say, hey, analyze and see what's common here, and make recommendations based on, what's common 10 sales calls that ended up in a sale?
So in the current version of MindPal, I've asked for them to add this. I don't think you can do a bulk run with files or images yet, but I did ask them to add the ability to like bulk upload like a bunch of MP3s kind of thing. So you'd need to do them one at a time right now, but I mean, you could open this in 10 browser windows if you wanted. But they were going to add the ability, I don't know at what point, but they were going to add the ability where you could like just drag and drop a bunch of files and let it rip for you. So then you could just have it go overnight if you wanted.
Even bulk transcriptions, you can't upload 10 transcriptions.
Not yet. Not for the bulk run feature. They were going to add that. It'd be one at a time right now. But I did ask them to add that because I was like, you guys need this. This is an important thing to be able to do. So yeah, I'm sure it'll get added soon. They add stuff every day. So it's just a matter of them knocking it out.
One sales call, analyze it, come up with the tips, come up with the sales script, and then do it for the 10 different sold sales calls. And then maybe I can bulk it in and say, okay, find the commonalities here after adding the results. Probably I could do
correct. So like
one
you could do another thing. Like you could upload like all that information either into a knowledge source or into a chat bot. So if I went into the chat bot here, chat bot, just open one up. Oops. What am I doing wrong here? Share in embed, open. I could upload a file that way. So I could upload like all the transcripts or all the like the final report. I could upload that and probably upload multiple ones here and then have a conversation with those to find out what the commonalities were.
Super. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. I like how everybody's making time here. We have Christopher up again.
Yeah, I'm assuming that we could import some of Perry's GPTs into workflows. Is that right?
I believe Perry has a MindPal account now. So I don't know if he's created any workflows that he's open to sharing
Not
in MindPal, but yeah.
His GPTs, right?
So I mean they're different. I mean, you could take whatever prompts were used to create a custom GPT and copy and paste those and put them into like an agent into MindPal. But there isn't a way to just like directly import like a custom GPT and turn it into a MindPal tool.
All right, thank you.
And then we have Alonzo. Are you able to unmute?
I am. Good evening, Reed.
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hey,
How
Alonzo.
would you? Hey, how would you compare? You did mention a little bit, but how would you compare or contrast this to Zapier?
So, I mean, Zapier, you can do so much more because
Okay.
it's already has API connections to like 7,000 different things, so it can do a lot more. MindPal is a new tool that came out a few months ago, kind of thing. What I like about MindPal is because it's so easy to get up and running and create some sort of automation and create these different tools. They have all these different templates that you can just run with. So I think that is a very useful thing where I think there's a lot of people that see Zapier or Make or anything like that, and they get a little overwhelmed because it's still decently technical. And I think they've done a pretty good job with MindPal to make it a kind of a friendly interface and very like intuitive to use. And they've put out training and blogs and videos all the time to help their audience. They have a very active Facebook community, so they've got all that going for them, and they're very passionate. It's like a team of 3 founders that work on it, and they're just always listening to the customers. Where like Zapier, they've been around for a decade or more, and we're small potatoes to them. Yeah, we're not big fish to them. We're MindPal. Every dollar helps them, so they're definitely much more interested in listening to customer feedback and shaping where they go and what they need to build and what they need to implement to make MindPal the right tool for a lot of different use cases.
That's great, man. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for giving those additional details about that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, Reed, if you want to stop sharing, I have a question for you from the crew, I guess, and we can get you spotlight on there.
Yeah, 1 second
all
here.
right.
There we
So
go.
it says, can you create different kinds of bots, combining non-booking with booking bots in MindPal? I believe you already covered that, but it's
Yeah,
also,
I already covered it. I have not tried it for a booking bot, so I would use
and the
Whalebot or
follow-up
whatever it is.
question on that is if we can deal with assistant bots connected with Sonnet 3.5 or OpenAI with MindPal. Can you connect those?
So you can connect. You got all the OpenAI things that you can connect. You've got all the Anthropic, which is Claude stuff. You've got all the Gemini stuff you can connect. You've got Llama that you can connect. So you've got like 4 big providers, and you can switch things up. So if you find, let's say you've got a workflow. So we'll take like the lead laundering workflow that I created, because that's creating like 40 different things. If I find that, hey, Claude does a much better job of doing like an ebook, for instance, I could have it where the output comes from Claude versus ChatGPT. So that's something that you can do, and you can mix and match and change things up to find the right, not only the right large language model, but the right version of it. So it might be OpenAI GPT 4.0 mini, or it might be Claude Haiku, or whatever you want to use. You can switch it up.
Thank you for the answer. That was my question. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Cool. Yeah, there looks like there was one more that popped in, like Perplexity Connect, I believe. It was he rattled off all the ones, but I mean, maybe you left out Perplexity. Is that?
I don't think Perplexity has a API that you can access through that. Yeah, as far as I know now.
All right, and it looks like Shamari had we covered a Notion, but is there a way to export them from there and turn them into agents on MyPal? Feel free to answer in the Ignite page if it's too long.
To take something from Notion and put it into MindPal, I mean, it basically have a it would basically be a knowledge source that you'd drop in there for it. So you'd take like your Notion page and just drop it as a knowledge source.
Great. Yeah, short and sweet. Well, I think that wraps up all of our questions, and yeah, we're hitting the 2-hour mark, and man, you had so much knowledge, so I appreciate it. Any final words you want to leave with everybody with?
Just take action. Like I tried to make this as simple as possible for you guys, give you a lot of resources. So just follow that document and make something, share it in the group, show us what you're doing. I think this is a really cool way to, hit the ground running. You can create these internal tools for yourself to speed up things that you're doing. You can create stuff that replaces people on your team. You can, share things and create these tools that not only you can build your list from and create an audience, but you can also sell and either charge people like a subscription or charge per output if you want. There's a lot you can do with this, so it's a fantastic opportunity that the rest of the world doesn't know about. This is really, Ignite knows about it, and a handful of nerds know about MindPal. So now we're kind of unleashing the dragon to everyone. So use it, make money.
I love it. Giving everybody the advantage. Well, this has been a wonderful talk, and I've enjoyed it so much. And it's been a little contrast from Perry's almost not safe for work X-rated booyah in your face. It's
Oh, I could have added that, but
but yeah, I think next week we'll probably have him back, and then the following week we should be going into the 60-minute SaaS workshops going on starting in November. So I hope everybody's going to be in attendance, and a wonderful time, Reed. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, this is Mark.
you,
Real
Russell.
quick, can I say something really quick?
You can jump in, and then
Real quick.
we'll keep
Just
it
for
there.
everybody's benefit. Perry at the first AI Bot Summit, mentioned how many people don't know about AI, right? And we know it was all brand new, so there wasn't a lot of people that knew about it. So here we are, a year and a half later. We've had 3 AI Bot Summits. The 4th one's coming up in Orlando. I just spoke at an event on Saturday with 100 people in my particular breakout room. There was only room for 75. They had standing room only. They had to bring in chairs. Long story short, everybody wanted to learn about AI. When I ask simple questions like, do you know what Perplexity is? Do you know what a custom GPT is? Simple to us, right? People were just lost. These people, literally, it was like last year. It was like starting all over again. There's people that don't know anything. So again, to reiterate, we are so far ahead of the curve. And with tools like this, it does make us look like freaking AI gods. I'm telling you, when I did simple demos in the room, I'm going to be posting, if they allow it, I'm going to post short little clips of my presentation. And you could hear the oohs and the ahs. I mean, jaws were on the floor. And I mean, I literally was walking on clouds to them. And so by the end of the event, I had like 40 people bum rush my desk, the table that I was speaking from. So you guys are so far ahead of the curve. Remember the saying, just don't 10% more than your competition or 10% more than anybody in the room, and you're the expert.
Well, thanks, Mark. Yeah, we
For
definitely
sure.
saw your support in the chat, and it's helpful as you guide people along as well. So I guess let's give Reed one more round of applause, and we'll end it tonight. Yeah, you see that?
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a great one. Bye.
Woohoo! Thank you, Reed.